23F, 22M. My boyfriend suddenly becomes sick whenever I'm sick and it's driving me insane. The title pretty much says it all. We've been together for 2 years and every single time I become sick my boyfriend starts complaining about being so much sicker than me. For example, when I had tonsillitis, he suddenly was dying from tonsillitis. When I had a UTI, he's suddenly dying from a UTI. Every single time I get better he magically gets better too. I got very sick on the 23rd of this month and have been in bed for all of Christmas. I'm really upset over missing the holiday and I can't even complain about it to him as now he's suddenly dying sick with the same thing but it's somehow worse. This virus has had me bedbound for 4 days and he went out last night drinking and is currently going to work, but insists he's just as sick as me. How can I get him to stop? It's driving me mad. People that are self-centered do this. It's because they don't want to care for someone else. They want to be cared for. If you ever need help, they won't be there for you. Imagine. Picture it in your head. 5 years from now. You have a baby. The baby has a baby ailment. May a cold. Maybe colic. Baby is screaming, uncomfortable, inconsolable. You are doing all the childcare, because you're just better at that sort of thing. You've been up all night with your snotty, screaming, feverish baby. In the early hours of the morning you go to the bedroom, and attempt to hand the baby to your partner. You just want a shower, and maybe time to make a coffee. He rolls over in bed and sniffles. I can't, I'm sick too, he says. He's mad you didn't notice. He's outraged you'd try and hand him a screaming baby when he is sick. Is this the life you want, op? 26F, 26M. My boyfriend of 2 years perpetually confuses me and I think we need to end things. When I 26F, first started dating my boyfriend, 26M, I felt so completely enamored with him. I was not expecting to find a relationship at that point in my life and we seemed perfect for each other. We moved in together, he moved in with me. A year or so into the relationship things got a little weird. He started behaving outright mean to me, making rude comments, ignoring me, not putting any effort into sex except to get himself off. It was bizarre. While I didn't protest initially out of complete shock, a month or 2 after this consistent behavior I sat him down and expressed how I was feeling. His mean behavior stopped and slowly we healed. But, we never got back to how we were earlier on in the relationship. Now I think I've been holding on to who he was possibly pretending to be in order to get me to commit to a relationship with him. Here's some examples of what I'd consider red flags. He can go weeks without asking me anything about my life. I don't think he knows what's going on in my work life or personal life. I hardly get his full attention. He's almost always on his phone. If I point this out he'll put his phone down but still not interact, he'll just sit there with me. In general he won't answer my texts. I don't text very often. If I ask he'll usually say he missed it or he thought he responded. He admitted he lied about some of his political beliefs when we first started dating. He stated that this was because he didn't think I would have dated him if he was outright about his beliefs. He doesn't seem to want to go to any events with me other than his own family and friends' events. He missed my best friend's wedding due to a flimsy excuse but still pushes for me to come to his friends' birthday parties, weddings, family holidays, etc. He won't participate in my hobbies with me, even just cooking or walking the dog. I brought this up recently and he asked me what my hobbies even are. I've spoken to him many times about how I don't feel my needs are being met. I gave him a literal list of things he can do that would make me feel loved. He will do some of these things but not consistently and they drop off until I bring it up again. When I bring these things up, he absolutely insists he loves me and would do anything for me. He'll get emotional and seems to genuinely feel bad that he's making me feel this way. I feel our relationship is over and he's just waiting for me to pull the trigger on breaking up. What I am looking for closure on is this. Why would a man clearly not be interested in me, but when confronted, continues to absolutely insist that he's so lucky to have me and loves me so much? I'm guessing people that read this will agree that he clearly doesn't want to be in this relationship, but why does he continue to insist that he loves me and wants this to work? I generally just feel confused about our relationship, all the time. Too long did not read. Boyfriend of 2 years acts uninterested in our relationship completely. But when confronted he genuinely insists he is still dedicated and wants to make things work. Why does he continue to insist that he loves me and wants this to work? It seems like he really does want it to work on his own terms. And he probably really likes the ways he benefits from the relationship, but either his ego is too big for him to think you might end it, Or maybe he thinks he can replace you with someone else if you decide to bail. But the bottom line is that the relationship isn't working for you, and if you've already tried everything that's worth trying, then it's time to end it, and it doesn't matter what he's thinking. 28M, 26F, 29M. I introduced a Tinder Crush to my friend and they started secretly dating. I'm really struggling with a situation that just happened and could use some advice. I met this girl on Tinder a few weeks ago and we hit it off right away. We went on a few dates and I really thought there was something special between us. We had great conversations, shared similar interests, and had a lot of fun together. But everything changed when I invited her to come out with my friend and me for drinks. One thing led to another and my friend ended up making a move on her. To my shock, she went along with it and they started secretly dating. I had no idea until my friend came to me today and told me they were going on a vacation together. I was devastated when I found out. I thought this girl and I had a real connection, and I couldn't believe that my friend would do something like this behind my back. I confronted him about it and he basically said that since the girl and I had not started dating officially, I didn't have a right to get mad. But I feel like I was betrayed in more ways than one. Not only did my friend steal the girl I was interested in, but he also lied to me and kept it a secret. To make matters worse, I just started a shared lease with this friend. Now I'm stuck living with someone who has betrayed me and I'm not sure how to move forward. I don't care about the girl, but I feel like my friend really let me down. I'm not sure if I should cancel the lease and move out, or if there's a way to work through this. I don't know how to deal with this and could use some guidance. How should I approach this situation? Do I have a right to be upset? Any thoughts or advice would be greatly appreciated. Too long did not read. Best friend and flatmate stole my Tinder crush. Cancel the lease and move on. You don't need someone like that around you all the time. The hassle of moving will be worth it in the long run when you don't have to see either of them in your living space. Try to look on the bright side. You know what type of people don't deserve to be in your life. Crappy friend. Plus he's not apologetic at all about it. It'll be difficult for you to trust him from here. It'll suck if you hear them going at it. There will be no reason for him not to do something like this again. Get out of the lease. He's not a good friend. He will screw you over worse than this. Grieve losing the friend and move on. She's a shit person. You should be grateful you never got serious. If you continue being friends with that guy, you're a sucker. Sorry that happened to you. I, 25M, have been in a non-intimate relationship for 7+ years. I, 25M, have been with my girlfriend, 25F, for 7+ years. We don't have sex and I have never seen her naked. This is a challenge we're both aware of but haven't made any progress on. We're now talking about buying a house together in the next 18 months and I don't want to do that with someone I can't be intimate with. I want this to work. I do love her and everything else we have going is fantastic. I'm going to format this post with some background facts and then a timeline of how we ended up here. Facts. 1. We started dating in our final year of school at 18, went through uni, I started working, she's almost finished her PhD. We've grown with each other from immature teenagers to quiet bookworms, gamers. 2. I'm not great at showing or talking about emotions. More so when it's something that may upset either of us. I tend to bottle up and explode. 3. In my opinion, she doesn't handle emotions well either, but in a different way. She gets upset and then punishes me, and it feels like it's my fault and I need to fix it. 4. She has never been good with affection and intimacy. Aside from sex, she doesn't like to kiss or cuddle for long periods, whereas I enjoy these. 5. She was a virgin going into our relationship, I was not. The journey. 1. We started dating as teenagers, we were drinking and partying every weekend. During the first year we had sex regularly, a few times every weekend. We don't live together. I was allowed to touch her sometimes, but never her breasts. We only had missionary sex. No foreplay, oral sex, hand sex. At this stage neither of us felt good about our bodies. 2. I wanted more. The way I voiced this wasn't great. It came out in drunken frustration in the second year of our relationship. We fought pretty regularly about this and stopped having sex. I started to go to the gym, lost a lot of weight and developed some muscle. I felt the best I had ever felt about myself. She did not feel good about herself. 3. We stopped arguing but never really started having sex again. I tried to initiate. I tried to make her feel good about herself. I tried to lead by example. and be confident in being naked around her, trying to feel sexy, even though inside I wasn't entirely comfortable. 4. We're 21-20 seconds now. We've had joyless sex maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 1.52 years. We were at a party and a conversation started among guys about porn. She overheard, not that we were hiding anything, asked me if I watched porn. I said yes, of course. This upset her a lot, which I understand. But it also frustrated me. I was only masturbating to porn because I was not sexually satisfied in my relationship. I agreed to stop. This lasted a few months. 5. A few months later I was hanging out with my best friend and one of his other mates. I opened up about my situation to them. They were in disbelief, and after talking with them I told my girlfriend that I wanted some time to think things over. After a few days, we met up and I tried to break up with her. We argued for hours, we were both upset. I was adamant we were done, she was adamant we were not. Eventually she agreed to change. I agreed to stay with her on that basis. 6. A few weeks later we had sex, the same as always. No foreplay, lights out, under the covers, missionary. We had sex like this a few more times over the next few months and then just stopped. We had sex maybe 3 times a year for the next 2 years. I tried everything to initiate and make her feel good. We talked about it sometimes but nothing ever came from it. She told me she wanted to do things. I asked what I can do, nothing happened. During this time I graduated uni and got a job, she started her master's. We've settled down from the party life and enjoy a quiet night in. She's given up drinking completely. I have a drink or 2 with dinner now and then and go out with friends a couple of times a year. We continued like this until the last 12 months. My desire to be intimate with her faltered, I gave up. I'm incredibly sexually frustrated. 7. We've been together for roughly 6 years at this point. She mentioned she wants to try the gym with me. Thinking this could be the ticket and help her with low self-esteem, I took her that day to the gym with me. She's hooked. She's seeing progress, she's becoming more comfortable in her own skin. But we still have no intimacy. We talk about it. Her excuse this time is that she's scared of getting pregnant even though she's on birth control. I agree to use condoms as well if we have sex and plan to go into how we really don't need them, if we ever start having sex. 8. A few months later a lady I worked with at a previous job drunkenly adds me on social media and tells me she finds me attractive. She knows I'm in a relationship. I get drunk, separately, at my house. I open up to her about my relationship. She says all the right things. We exchange nudes. She makes me feel wanted and attractive. The next morning I don't regret it and I don't feel bad, which surprises me. We do this a couple more times over a few months. Until we met up with the intention of hooking up. Once I got there I got cold feet and left. We don't talk anymore, but she rekindled my sexual desire. I crave how she made me feel wanted and I'm more frustrated than ever. 9. My girlfriend has been going to the gym for almost a year now. She was never big to start with, but she's lost all her excess weight, she's toned, she's strong, and I can tell she feels good about herself. I book us a surprise trip away for the weekend in a fancy hotel, fancy restaurant and some cute date things. I pack the condoms. We end up getting some cocktails, even her. We have sex, lights off and no foreplay, but we do try doggy style. The present. 1. It's been 5 months since that trip. We haven't had sex since. 2. She is feeling better and better about herself every day. 3. I'm feeling worse and worse about myself every day and more sexually frustrated. 4. She's halfway through her PhD. I'm expecting a job offer with a significant pay rise in the new year. We're talking about buying a house together when she gets a job. We don't live together now, she lives at home rent-free and a 5 mile walk from uni. I flat and she stays with me 2 or 3 nights a week. My conflict. I want to buy a house with someone who makes me feel wanted, someone I can touch and look at, someone I can be intimate with. She's looking at this as an exciting new chapter, I'm looking at it like a ticking time bomb. I need advice on what to do next. I want this to work. We're so compatible in every other way, but I've lost hope and don't know if it can work. My opinion is that you should have broken up a long time ago. If one person is adamant about breaking up, that's enough. You didn't need her agreement. Have you even told her about when you cheated? You wrote out 9,000 words, but it just comes down to this. Do not buy a house with someone you are not married to and not compatible with. Don't dig yourself in deeper. You are allowed to want and have sex, it is a natural biological urge. Why are you twisting yourself in knots to make this work? It doesn't work. End it now. Do not buy real estate with this woman. And you're cheating on her. What's wrong with you?